You will notice that the image is simplistic and most of the detail comes from the sheet music. I've sketched the sheet music, but this image could have been a collage where I just created a simplistic drawing over the top. Aesthetically, there would have been little difference. Sheet music is great to use in collage because it adds instant detail to an image, although it also has the potential to overpower an image with too much detail. It can work well, but it needs to be balanced by simplicity. In this image, that simplicity is provided through a line drawing and a limited range of colours. The complexity of the sheet music could also be balanced with basic shapes. If your image is too complex, it is going to appear messy. If it is too simplistic, it might look lazy or incomplete. You need to find a balance between the two. I would recommend using sheet music in collages because it will teach you a lot about how to balance high levels of detail. I created this collage of a peach. I'm interested in the work of Matisse. He made wonderful simplistic images, but I want a higher level of balance between simplicity and detail. Don't get me wrong, Matisse is a genius and his images are a masterclass in colour theory. I bought a pack of coloured paper and I began cutting shapes out because I was feeling so inspired by his work. Then it comes to the detail and I'm free to choose the patterns that feel right for me. When experimenting with this way of working, I could have used sheet music for the detail and a stack of coloured paper, and then I would have solely been using scissors to create artwork just like Matisse did. It could have looked something like this. I've used Photoshop to show the same cutouts on a piece of music that I'm currently working on. You will notice that there is a balance between detail and space. It is a balance between complexity and simplicity. However, although I want to learn from these great artists, I also want to add something of myself to the work that I create. At the time I created this image, I couldn't write a piece of music. I would have needed to use someone else's music in the background, and that would have seemed less personal. I wanted to add my own detail. It feels like an expression of who I am, which is important to me, although all artists are different. I've incorporated sheet music into a few images, and this is one example. I placed the notes so that they look good in the image. Those notes in the lower right section could only be high notes because otherwise they wouldn't fit on the page. When the notes rise, they circle the sleeper and the shapes merge into the dreamer's hair. If the notes went lower, the composition of the image would be less effective. At no point am I thinking about what these notes would sound like in a piece of music. The woman is sleeping and she looks restful. The colours suggest calm and relaxation. This suggests that the music is a lullaby even though you can't hear it. Sometimes sheet music is used to add detail and other times it isn't. In this image, there aren't many notes. Lots of small notes can create instant detail, but when you make the notes larger, they can become interesting as basic shapes. When we make the notes large, it creates the space to explore the shapes, and when they are small musical notes, can become an interesting detail in a much larger image. There are many ways to use sheet music in your artwork. You are an artist, so use your creativity and create something amazing. If you found yourself looking at this video and exploring sheet music in your art, then you should get some music notation software and see what the notes in your artwork sound like. You can get music notation software for free, and if you're already watching this video, I imagine that you are a creative person who is interested in the relationship between art and music. When you sit in front of a piano and you don't know anything about the piano or music theory, you press all the keys and it sounds terrible. When you're creating sheet music, you presume it's going to lead to the same sound, but that isn't true. When you're in music notation software, you choose the key signature. This means that all your notes will go together in a pleasing way. You don't need to be able to play an instrument in order to compose sheet music. If you randomly draw musical notes in your artwork, then get some free music notation software and have a go. In the next few videos, I will show you how to create sheet music from a piece of artwork.